Welcome to The Business Kitchen, where every week we will be cooking up some fun recipes to help you succeed in business. You'll get time-tested and delicious business recipes as well as some new cutting-edge recipes. Every recipe has a story, and every chef adds their own unique flavor to each dish, just like each business strategy has its own story. Here at The Business Kitchen, you can be sure to find your own recipe for success.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Business Kitchen, where every week we have special guests that share that special sauce that makes their business successful and hopefully share the ingredients that got them to this point. And we are thrilled to have new guests at the show today. And joining me to co-host today is Tatiana. Tatiana is coming in from Sarasota today. I'm up in Massachusetts. Hey, Tatiana, how's the weather down there?
It's nice and very hot. How is it over there?
Very. Oh, it's cool. I actually was able to wear a little light jacket last night, so that was quite pleasant. It's a change from Florida for a few weeks. So I'm very, very excited to bring on our guest today. Do you want to introduce our guest, Tatiana?
Sure. Today we have the CS Planners, and that consists of two ladies, Stephanie, which is a fun-loving mom that chose to start her own business to be able to spend more time with her daughter. After starting a successful VA business that grew quickly, she decided to expand her business into event planning. Her event planning resume includes organizing one of the biggest proms in Canada. And we have Chelsea, who has a history of organizing fundraisers for both local and global organizations, raising over $150,000. She also coached groups of people in organizing large-scale events. Together, they have organized over 400 trips and events over the past 4 years. Recently, they have been helping businesses organize their own virtual events to help bring more awareness to products and services.
That's amazing. So let's bring on our guests. Welcome, Stephanie and Chelsea.
Hi.
Welcome to the Business Kitchen.
Hey.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Yes, welcome. So you are event planners. So this is quite an event, and we had a conversation before this. So we treat every show as an event, and hopefully by the end of it, you will tell us that we have done an amazing job with as planners, even though we have not gone through any of your programs or any of the steps that you have done. So you have arranged over 400 events in the 4 years of work. Oh my gosh! So what has been some of the biggest ones that you have done?
So for me, the biggest ones have been Canada's largest prom with over 900 people. But we've run Canada's Wonderland trips. We've run virtual events. So between Chelsea and I, have over 400 events that we've run. Chelsea, you've run more of the fundraiser side, if you want to speak on that.
Yeah, so Steph and I worked together before starting our business. And at that company before, we worked together, but also separately to run businesses for groups of a variety of backgrounds. So we fell in love with that process. And during COVID, we basically took what we loved and started helping new businesses get online. So since we've been helping businesses get online, our audience just keeps getting bigger and bigger with every new event that we get. So it's been very exciting.
Yeah.
That's terrific. And especially now, so as we're speaking now, this is July of 2020, and this COVID pandemic has been taking over the world, and in the US it's been present since about mid-March, where it really started to take full effect. So how has your business pivoted during the pandemic?
So for us, we've noticed that it's gotten a lot busier because a lot of businesses had to adjust to being virtual, and some businesses, they weren't sure how to go virtual. And I feel like that's when they would come on us and they'd come to us and look, even just look for ideas on, I'm launching a new program. I don't know how to launch a new program. What do I do? So, and then we've helped them launch new programs, new businesses during COVID, and we've really seen them grow. And it's been amazing to see like other businesses succeed and reach steps that they don't even think. It gives them like a new confidence.
Yeah, and what's
before
also
the
great is that,
pandemic, did you guys? Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Before the pandemic, did you guys mostly have in-person events, or were you already doing virtual events before this?
Most of our events were in person. So we did like when we started doing online events, it was like, oh my gosh, there's a whole variety of things that we now don't need to worry about. So like in a way, it kind of became a little easier for us because there's not as
Yeah.
much background stuff going on, finding a venue and dietary needs and things like that. So it was really excited because we were able to put more effort and more focus into the virtual events because we had that extra time that it felt like.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that you bring this up because being a chef and I've catered a few events, and that you mentioned in dietary preferences. So the whole how does it work with the because there is no catering. So how does that portion of events going? You know, do you still make it somehow special? Do you make some kind of, I don't know, like lunch boxes, or do you encourage people to prepare something for themselves, you know, that goes with a theme? I'm just curious, how does that, you know, as a chef, of course, how does the culinary portion of virtual event go?
Yeah, well, there's a variety of options of what people can do. So, the most common way of doing, or the most common events that we've been using right now are basically virtual summits. So, there are guest speakers that come online. So, people don't need to go anywhere. But we do also know that there's been a lot of like companies that do focus on food and incorporating that, and they give like a little recipe or a quick DIY. Or I know they've been using TikTok to show some of their recipes to be like, join us with this recipe while you enjoy the relaxing interview with so and so. So like, there's always really cool little things you can add to make it special for your event.
Oh, so that's fun. So I feel like this is a great tip right there for the catering businesses, so that if they are, you know, struggling right now to get clients, to get in touch with companies such as yourselves and say, hey, how about I come on during a breakout session and do a live demo or a live cocktail or something like that. And I think that that is such a great way to break up any sessions, and everybody likes a little, you know, happy hour on live with, you know, with a
Yeah.
real bartender or a
Yeah,
real chef going in
exactly.
the background. That's so valuable just right there. Such great tip.
I
Yeah,
actually
exactly. And
recently
I
had a
think,
coffee and chat where they gave
Yeah, we know
everybody
a
a
lot of
$5 gift card.
there you go.
yeah, that's,
Yeah, we know a lot of people that have been adding like special features for even if it's not related to their event, having something special like a coffee talk or having a chef come on to explain different things, it draws in a larger audience because even though you're not necessarily targeting them, it does help provide you with a new group of people to promote your services to.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I feel like a lot, like, I feel like sometimes people get discouraged to say, oh, I can only do, like, you know, have people, you know, in person. But that's when we work together, we be creative, and we come up with ideas on how we can take their business, their ideas, their dreams, their goals, and do it virtual. So that way, times like this during COVID, when you have to be flexible, that's when we have to be creative and come up with different ideas on how they can go virtual, different ideas that maybe they never would have thought of beforehand. And it's been really
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It's been exciting seeing the transformation in people and how far that they've come. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
I love that. That's wonderful. So what type of industries? You know, I know that summits and online workshops, because I have been in this world. I've spoken at summits, and I've done uh, all kinds of online workshops, which are fun to organize. And so it's a good way to grow the email list and really provide that in-person live element, especially if it's a digital type of business. But what about for businesses that are brick and mortar? What if we talk about, I mean, a local bakery or a dry cleaning service or a construction company or real estate office? what about all those types of businesses? What kind of events can they consider organizing online?
So we've been very lucky. We've had a lot of experience with anyone from coaches to cleaning businesses, and we have experience in a variety of different categories there. And I feel like the most unique one could be the cleaning services. And because when you first think about it, you think, okay, that's someone where you have to go to someone else's house, right? So then that's when we brainstorm ideas with her, like, hey, how can we do this to make what you love in your clean, what you love in organizing, and turn that virtual. So what we did is we brainstormed ideas, and what we came up with was she is going to be now doing organizing online. So she's doing virtual coaching online to help organize to different designs, to help layouts, and she did a whole event to help launch it. And she's had some huge success with that.
Yeah, and with her, one thing that I'm most proud about with working with her is that she made an amazing, amazing connection. And she's from Toronto, which is where we are, so she's close by. And she got a connection down in LA with a potential TV show where, if everything's good, she gets to travel to LA, film this TV show to also launch her business and her virtual company. It was very rewarding.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Very exciting.
Wow. And this is just from the one company, a cleaning company. This is
Yeah.
tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a lot
And
of
can
other
I
companies too. So during COVID, as most people know, everything shut down. So all of these companies who had these shops, they weren't allowed to access the shops. People can't go out. Everyone's staying home. So even just providing them with the tips and tools that they need to just get their business online. And also we started promoting, like, what were some things that you wanted to do that you never had the time for? So take advantage of that now, because this also gives you content to promote in the digital world.
Exactly.
and can I ask you guys, what is the timeline of putting together one of these events?
So we have experience with a variety of timelines. There's been some clients that are like, "Hey, we need to run an event this week or in 2 weeks," and we've pulled through. Ideally, like it would take long because there's a lot to go into, like promotions and everything. But I'd say the average is maybe 60 to 90 days. Usually, is like what we've noticed is like the general timeline.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're having like
And
speakers or additional people on, it's better to give yourself extra time because you want to make sure that you have the right people for your event. Where if you are just hosting an event where it's just you, maybe it's like a webinar or a coffee chat or something, a week is really all that you need if you have the tools to be able to do it yourself.
Exactly.
and how many events have you guys organized since March? Have you had a lot more people contact you to do these virtual events?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
since March. How many have we done, Chelsea? I feel like we've
I
done
feel
a
like it's
lot.
about eight or nine
Maybe.
since March. So over the past
Yeah.
3 months, working with 8 or 9 different companies to get their business online. But the thing too is that a lot of people, there's this common misconception where you just run an event and then it runs itself. So we've also provided on our website too a checklist of everything you can do after your event to continue the movement online as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So I was doing some research on the events and the trade shows that are national and international, and some things that I canceled. And I have come across the website, and it's the Small Business Expo. And Stephanie, I sent you that page because I thought that we would be able to chat about this. So the Small Business Expo is usually typically an in-person event, right? So what they have done, and we'll put the link to this under the show, so that our listeners can actually go on and explore the website and watch, because there was a very interesting video that it was a demo of how this company created this walkthrough, as you walking through as if you are inside a trade show, a virtual trade show, which made me think, does it take a lot of technology to put together an event? Because a lot of companies, when you think of an event, or when you think of a wedding, when you think of an event such as a virtual trade show, or even if we take something as small as a wine class, you would call that an event, right? To put something together.
Yeah.
So I feel like people might get overwhelmed by the amount of technology needed. So can you just speak a little bit on that technology aspect of putting together
Yeah.
an event?
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like that is definitely common. We've heard that lots of times when they've come to us, like, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know anything. I don't like, but the thing is with what we do is we make it simple. So we have everything that we have, different packages that we offer. It goes step by step. We give them free options of how they can run an event, what they need to do. It's very clear on like everything in terms of technology we've built for them and made easy steps on how they can use the stuff that we've already built. So we've already done a lot of the hard work and design for it in terms of different email templates, anything a little bit trickier, we've built for them that make it their lives a little bit easier. So that way, because it is very common, you're absolutely right, of being like, I can't do it, it's online, I don't know anything about any technology, but it's definitely possible. And a lot of people that we've worked with actually, they don't know how to save a file, or they don't their technology is very limited, and we've taken them through step by step. And I feel like people shouldn't get discouraged because we're here to help them.
Yeah, and the other thing, so you can run an event on any budget. So for example, recently we've been helping new businesses or people that have just been laid off and are trying to find something online. So right now on our website, we provide more of the basic steps of what you need to get an online event. But for things like trade shows and like more grander opportunities and events, it is possible. You just make sure you have the budget. So we do provide on our website a budget sheet just so people can track some stuff. But we've done things like a virtual escape room where it's like very similar idea of a trade show where you get to walk through, but you get to be in the room with the 3D cameras. So like anything is possible, but make sure it's in your budget, because the worst thing is to spend so much money and that you don't have and trying to buy things and putting it together when it's not that good. It's better to get like the basics and then grow from there. So there's a variety of things you can do. It really depends on your budget, but you can get creative and you can do literally anything.
Yeah, and there's so much you can do with a very limited budget. You don't need huge, grand budgets. And I feel like a lot of people might think that, but you don't. And we give a lot of information of how you can run an event for free or with a very limited budget. So you don't need to be spending like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to be running something really amazing and to get the value that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that this is really comforting to hear. So, oh my gosh, virtual escape room.
That was so much fun.
How does that work? And what was the budget for that project? And can I be invited to a virtual escape room the next time to do it? Please.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah. Was it fun? Yeah. Oh, I would love to. If you have any pictures of it, please. If you have like a little video, please send it my way. I'd love to see it, as we'll recommend you to our guests and our clients. So when we talk about budget, so you say that it's not a big investment to get something started. So what is that minimum investment for? And I understand that when people start to think about creating an event, we need to start thinking about, okay, well, what is the goal of the event? Is the goal of the event to gain more exposure to the brand? Is the goal of the event to collect more email addresses. Is the goal of the event is to educate and bring the community together? Is the goal of the event to make more sales, right? So is that the right approach in the mindset for someone who is planning the event?
Yeah, we always start by asking what do you want to get from this? Because depending on what that answer is, it gives you a strategy as to how to approach whether it's the marketing or the setup of the actual event. And sometimes people can get very, very overwhelmed with that because they don't necessarily know what goals to aim for. So again, that's another thing that we do have on our website that you can buy, and it just gives you some ideas of potential directions. And even in the program that we're starting, that's our very first starting point. Like, what do you want to get from this? Because there's so many things you can get, and if you go all over the place, it can get overwhelming, especially for people who've never run an event before. So even just a quick checklist, this is what our goals are, and then we will give you the steps to get you there.
So from the if we want to talk on the business perspective about the ROI of the event, which events have brought, with the minimum investment and the highest sales? So what would be that one event that you can think of?
So I'm trying to.
I know
Yeah, so
that there
there's
is one event that they only wanted to spend $100. So at this point, what happened was they went through this company that was telling them, you need to run an event to get your stuff online, but they didn't actually give them the tool. So by the time they came to us, they're like, look, I've already spent $8,000. I didn't get anything from this. I need to find a way to make it possible because I didn't actually gain the tools. Now, they did pay for our services, which is expensive, and they were willing to do that at that point. But because they already spent so much money and didn't want to spend more, they had a very, very narrow budget of I think it was $100 max. But by the end of that, we were able to help them get almost 300 people on their email list, and we also gave them tips on what content they had in their event that they can continue to promote throughout. I think it was the next 2 years. Because of their event, they have content to release at least one thing a month for the next 2 years. So I feel like overall that was a very, very rewarding one.
Yeah, another one I'm
that's
thinking
incredible.
of too.
So you do help with the post event follow up sequence as well, because that's important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we help with the post follow up as well. The one that I'm thinking of too is I'll just say it's really quick. So another one, I feel like it was amazing, and he got really great connections. He wanted to do he knew a lot about technology, so he wanted to do it more himself. So he had a very limited budget. I think it was maybe 200 max, which is all he spent. And in, I'd say 24 hours, his course sales, he had about 300 sales in about 24, 48 hours. He had more coaching clients, more calls, more connections, more interviews, just by running an event with a very limited budget. So you don't necessarily need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. And a lot of our clients, they think they need to spend like $8,000 or more. We've seen that where they've come to us and they're like, I've spent this already on other programs, but you don't have to spend that much to get the return that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And what advice do you give your clients about getting viewers to these virtual events? Do they have to have a separate budget to market their event, or do you guys help them get viewers? How does that work?
Yeah, so we have, and everything that we do, we help them get more people too. So it's not just planning an event, it's also the promotion and after, what they do after. So we help them through every step of the way. So they won't be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on the promotion because we have free or very limited, different ideas and different suggestions that they can use based on their event. So there are many ways that we help them with the promotion as well for the events.
And from the stats, we've noticed that obviously social media is one of the best ways to promote. So we also take advantage of the speakers. So some of our events, our clients had speakers, they've had over 21 speakers. So we help them create just a simple visual for them to send out, like a variety of visuals that their speakers could use. We provided them with captions, email promotions that they sent to their speakers, and then the speaker sent out. So that alone just helps them grow their audience, and that didn't cost them anything. There are a few that do want to put ads out on Facebook and Instagram, which obviously really, really helps. But recently, and again with COVID and people having that fear of like, I don't want to spend as much money because I don't necessarily have that right now, we've been really focused on trying to provide the tips and tools you need to run an event on a very limited budget. But we know you can do so much on your budget. If you had like a big portion you want to put just for a promotion, we can do amazing things with that or suggest really cool ideas.
Yeah.
So you just brought up a really good point. So let's say the next event I'm having, I'm definitely coming to you ladies. You sound like you're super professional and really trustworthy, and sounds you really have it together. So let's say if I have a budget, do you help with let's say, whatever budget we have, like 10% of the budget goes to pay your fees, 10% of the budget goes towards Facebook ads or whatever ad spend, 10% on this. So do you help with the sort of separation of the budget within the budget?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We can look at overall how much that you're willing to spend. And then we look at every time someone contacts us, we ask them, what's your budget? And then we work within that budget. So if you have a larger budget, then we can go through, be like, okay, this is what we recommend. And we coach them through of what the best strategy is for them based on their budget.
And we do have a budget tracking sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have one on our website too that we do sell, and it basically has it broken down of like your basic, if you're running a virtual event, the basic expenses you might have, but we also have listed free options there as well. So again, if someone's creating their budget and they don't know where to spend most of their money, they can go through those free options and be like, okay, well, I can actually do this on my own. So I'm going to put this budget to this section instead of putting it all in like a landing page. I can do a landing page myself. We'll put it for whatever.
Yeah. Terrific. So I just want to, as we're wrapping up, so the three main takeaways of the show is any business can go online. They just have to be creative. Virtual events are a great way to either gain new followers, new subscribers, or sell a product or service. And anything is possible on any budget, even the minimal budget. So with just a few seconds left of the show, ladies, do you have any last words? What is your special sauce? What would you like to leave our audience with?
I would say if anybody is looking to start something new, just go for it, because it just takes that first step, that leap of faith to do something you've never done before to get the huge response, like to get exactly what you're looking for your goals.
And also too, a common thing that I've been telling a lot of our clients is one new viewer is a new person that you've captured. So even if you had goals of like 10,000 people coming to your event, any new step and any new progress is huge and can really benefit your company. So cherish any new connection you have and use that to help you grow and gain more and more connections.
Yeah.
That is treasure right there. Thank you so much, ladies. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on the live episode of Business Kitchen.
Take care, everyone.
Steaks Glam Bar is an award-winning family-owned restaurant with 2 locations in Florida's Gulf Coast, Lakewood Ranch and St. Armand Circle. A New York-style Italian clam bar, Steaks offers fresh house-made pasta with homemade marinara sauce that runs on 3 speeds, sweet, medium, and hot. A wide variety of delicious fresh seafood, craft cocktails, all joyfully served in Prohibition-style decor, have made Steaks Glam Bar a favorite destination for locals and visitors alike. Our unique approach to accommodating guests with dietary restrictions has made Steaks one of the favorites among doctors and health enthusiasts. Bring your family and friends to Steaks today or get takeout. Our teams are always happy to welcome you.